we are live. Season 2, Grip the Grain. It has been a hot minute. I'm your host, Big Kunta, and we have a full house tonight.
We do.
The wonderful Doc Sauce, Headhunter James, and we're also blessed by Mr. Awesome himself.
Hello, hello.
If you know who that is.
Sometimes known as
If you know who Mr. Awesome
butt
is.
stuff and foreplay.
You know, you
AKA the Dirty Llama.
AKA...
You lock it up. Former champion.
Anyway, happy to be back. It's been a little rough around the edges, you know, with the pandemic and stuff. The world is kind of getting back together. For some people, it never stopped. For others, like myself, there's been like an adjustment period going back out. How's it been for you guys?
We survived it. We survived. Yeah.
Assuming we are, in fact, all alive and not in hell. Yes.
Oh man, plot twist like Lost.
Shit.
I mean, it's like clearly the Mayans were correct. We actually did all die in 2012 at the end of the world.
It's all been a simulation since then.
Yeah. That's why the fucking Cubs won the World Series and Cleveland won a championship, like right after each other, because the randomization seeds started breaking down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then Donald Trump became president.
Yep. And the Bills are good, I think.
Right?
I think.
Yeah.
Might take the division this year.
It's definitely like one of those Jet Li movies where, was it The One?
The One. Yeah.
Multiple universes.
Yeah. On the Bills one, it's like, it's almost understandable because you can see it playing out in real time that the Sabres are paying the karmic price for it because they are just like the worst fucking team in hockey.
Hey, getting the number one
for
pick.
like 5 years running, despite the fact that every season for the last 5 years they pick up like the top free agents available and they throw them away before the trade deadline and they go on to win the fucking Stanley Cup. It's like the portrait of Dorian Gray, and the Sabres are the picture in the attic.
Yeah, I think the only thing that hasn't changed, Tom Brady still winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That's how I know we're in hell.
You know.
That's how I know we're in hell.
Somebody was like, yo, this guy, like, in his 20th year, just straight up left and won his first year.
Yeah.
With his new team. And the Bucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think... so they play New England in New England this year. Do you think that he gets a standing ovation?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do. There's going to be those
100%.
individual fans.
You got to remember that it's New England, right?
I don't think
They're
they know.
massholes.
I don't
They're
think they
the
know.
worst fans.
But they don't know life without him.
A lot of them do.
I mean,
a lot of them remember the dark
a very
years.
No, they'll
thing to
talk
say.
underneath their breath.
That's
I
a very
think.
ignorant
They
thing
might
to
be
say.
like,
I don't mean they don't know.
They'll stand up
What
and
I'm
give them a
saying
clap.
is,
You have to.
You got to think for
6
the better
rings.
part of. I mean, we saw the Miami Heat on a 3-year run, and that 4th year when we lost to San Antonio in the finals, I was okay with it. I was like,
Yeah, because you're not
like we
from
haven't stopped watching
fucking
basketball.
Massachusetts.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well,
you know,
also...
it's one of those things, but like also 20 years, like the guy's been just shitting on every team. The only team
Especially
the
ours.
only team he hasn't beaten is the New England Patriots.
The Giants.
Yeah, so he obviously hasn't beaten the New England Patriots yet, and then he hasn't. His losing records against the Giants
And the Eagles.
the Eagles,
Well, they're
and
tied.
Which
Denver.
It's 1-1.
2 Super Bowls, right?
It's 1-1.
Yeah, and he has a losing record against Denver too.
Well, that's why Miami and the Giants were okay.
Yeah,
They kept them out, you know. Especially that year they would have went undefeated, which was the only thing that we care about as Dolphin fans. It's like I was born in the 80s.
I remember it because it was like really fucking bizarre for me because I was watching the Super Bowl in my buddy Brian Jenkins' house.
It was 2008.
And
remember.
I am obviously a Bills fan, and I despise the Patriots. But I was rooting for the Patriots because I'm watching at my buddy Brian Jenkins' house with his whole family. They're all big Dolphin fans. So they're all like rooting as hard as they fucking can against the Patriots because they like cannot have this like 1972 thing be stolen from them because it's all they have.
That's all we have.
And I was rooting
That's not
for
all we have. It's the best thing we
Patriots. It's weird what like vicious, spiteful things can cause us to do.
Sure.
Like there are almost no other circumstances wherein I would root for them.
Well, I mean,
I then spent
rooting
my
for the Bills
entire
after,
fantasy football budget in my auction draft the next year on Tom Brady and Randy Moss. And then Tom Brady gets his knee destroyed by Bernard Pollard in the first fucking game.
I had always been, since I say a former athlete, I stopped playing sports in 10th grade, but I never rooted or were happy when anyone got injured.
But you blew out your leg playing sports within the last 2 years.
That's true.
that's a different story, you know. We're old now.
Just because it's a beer league doesn't mean you're not playing sports.
The point I was trying to make was I never rooted or was happy when anyone got injured. When Tom Brady broke his leg, I almost shed a tear of happiness.
I did as well, even though
That's just
was
years
the
and years of
moment
getting
that
pounded by
sunk
them,
my
you know.
team.
And
right?
no pun intended, but it's basically, yeah, like, you know. And we we segued into football very, very naturally there. But like we were talking,
it was
the pandemic is more or less what's the herd immunity percentage? 80% of the country has to be.
Yeah, it's a made up number, but yeah, like 85%.
Sure.
And we'll never get that.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
Not when
you know,
not when more than 45% of the country specifically will not get the vaccine.
right. But regardless, the world is opening up and people are swiping their credit cards for concerts a year from now.
Hey man, I'm still waiting for the concert that we had tickets for just before the quarantine started to show back up, because Ticketmaster still has our rival Suns tickets.
I'm sure we're not the only people.
Will be rescheduled.
But you got to think there's a lot of things that are just like we went to the movies to see the Guy Ritchie film, Wrath of Man, which was, you know, for a Guy Ritchie fan, it was okay. It wasn't his worst movie.
For a Guy Ritchie fan, I thought it was disappointing, honestly.
It wasn't Aladdin, so
it was a fine movie.
Well, Aladdin was awesome. So
Aladdin was terrible.
Go fuck yourself.
I actually haven't seen Aladdin.
Was fucking terrible.
Aladdin
I haven't seen Aladdin because
I'm not dissing Will Smith. I love the man. I think he's a great actor, and all,
he nailed it.
No. Just going back and rewatching the original, you can't do.
Those are unfillable shoes.
Yeah.
But they were not meant to be.
No, they changed the whole perspective because they tried to put it into today's world, unfortunately. And
No. It was because Will Smith literally said, "My job isn't to win the role over what Robin Williams."
I'm not saying a woman can't win the role, but
tried to fill Robin Williams.
He did a fantastic job. All right, the film was good. If you're a fan of Aladdin, there was really nothing to hate about it. Okay, it was really well done. They almost stuck like scene for scene from the cartoon. So,
did they have the the single frames of the word sex being thrown up by Rafiki? You don't remember that?
That was Lion King.
No.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, no, hold on. Robin Williams did
Rafiki.
say in his ear,
right.
take off your clothes when he was down below.
There was one for each of them. There was one for Little Mermaid. There was one for Lion King. And there was one for.
Well, since you guys are absolutely ruining everything,
I fucked it up. The point was, did they include
the movie was, in my opinion, decent. If you haven't watched it, don't talk shit.
I have not watched it on purpose because
I took my daughter, and it was like I went in with zero expectation. I was surprised.
That's the scenario in which you should, right?
Absolutely.
The reason I haven't seen it is because I saw those movies when I was a fucking child,
sure.
and it feels too much like a blatant fucking money grab by Disney to be remaking all of those.
They have to
live
change
action.
a character.
Contractually obligated to remake
Add characters. Don't change a character. Don't make it a different.
The thing, they have
You mean, hang on. You mean from the standpoint of if they don't remake it, then their copyright on it will expire and then everyone else can use it?
Correct.
Okay, I accept that.
It's Disney though. Who's got the money to?
Well, not just
No one else
you
does,
definitely-
but that's the point I hadn't thought of. It's why the
definitely-
Fantastic Four movies kept being made.
Well,
Was
they
that-
it was because it was Sony though, and they wanted to keep the rights to
That's
it.
what-
But now in
That's
the
what he's
deal,
saying.
remember now in the deal, that's why Spider-Man's over there. Is done with Sony. It's part of part of the Marvel now.
No, it's still
X-Men as
Sony.
well.
It's
It's
a
a
separate
partnership. It's a
agreement.
partnership.
Keep segueing away from
Where-
this.
where
But
Sony
the
can
point
buy it.
is, everyone focus. The point is, we are in a transitional period now where
We can go see
a lot of
movies
us are not. It took me going to this movie to basically realize, like, I developed as above average level of social anxiety.
again. Yep.
amongst other things. Just, fear of providing for my family, just overall health and safety, like, the worry if things are ever going to get back to normal and that kind of shit. So the world completely shut down, for the most part. And it is a very unique thing to be back at a bar and to visit my friends and sit down at a bar top, and not just a table that's pulled up to a bar, but like in a bar stool, facing the bartender, talking to the bartender. Yeah. And it's a lot of things. That's my example, and it's a very small example.
When I found out that with my first movie, I found out that I have lost whatever it is that we have in our brains that like P-trained us for movies. Like I got used to being able to just pause my fucking movie that I'm watching at home
forward, being able to walk away.
Go pee. It was before the Guy Ritchie movie. I'd seen Scott Pilgrim with its anniversary showing.
Nice.
And I literally had to get up to pee 3 times.
Yeah.
Like I already had like poor bladder control before, but like
you weigh 80 pounds.
Sure, but
so
like
you look at water and you have to pee.
I made it through Avengers, fucking Infinity War, and Endgame without getting up to pee. Like it was normal to be able to get through I didn't see that in theaters because fuck DC.
Who would do that?
Oh, did you watch the extended cut?
Yes, I did, and it was amazing. That was
significantly better.
I did recently.
Significantly better. There was so much slow motion.
That's fine.
So the joke. Well, it's not a joke.
Was
someone
it 10
actually
minutes or
no,
30
it's like
minutes?
49 minutes.
49 minutes, okay,
or 47, or someone can correct
me.
But
Mira's got an accent.
40 overall
Batman
minutes
cursing. It was amazing. I'm just saying, like it was. Well,
it was
2.5 hours of extra
stuff. It's the Amazonian Lamentations every time Wonder Woman showed up.
Because we had the subtitles
on. Because if you have kids, you got to turn it. That shit is hilarious.
That's the other thing, though. That's the other point I had meant to make.
That was about 13 minutes.
Was that I've gotten used to having subtitles on whenever I watch things at home. Like I have tinnitus.
Sure.
Normally it doesn't matter for watching a movie at a theater unless it's directed by Christopher fucking Nolan because he can't mix his sound for shit.
I'm Batman.
But like I also got used to fucking having the subtitles on because I'm watching it at home, so like I can understand the dialogue. And John said that it's always the Amazon Lamentations because that's the name of like Wonder Woman's fucking theme song. So like every time she came on screen, the subtitles would say Amazon Lamentations.
It was weird for me because biblically, and like when you study theology, which I have, I know, don't question it, but the reference for Lamentations is like more of like a sobbing, like a crying out.
The weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very, it's not that. It's more like it's like a chant.
It definitely doesn't line up with that song.
So it's a weird choice of words for one. 2, it is just, it gets to the point where it's laughable, right? You're like, this bitch is going to show up and
Amazon Lamentations.
Indiana Jones music, but it's like literally, it's like her foot comes into the frame and it's like the music comes on. It's like
it's whenever she lifts up takes the shield off her back and is ready to fight.
Everything,
right?
Or even if it's just her,
or she kicks someone's ass while still wearing fucking stiletto heels and a dress.
Yeah,
I don't do anything on the weekends. I'm boring.
Thank you for
Bro,
that.
I needed 3 sessions to watch that movie
because
I watched it all in one go. I've watched it 4 times now.
So you have 4.5 hours long, and really no one in your house, and most times. So
as I'm going to bed, I just watch it.
You have the luxury of literally just your distraction is yourself.
Just Spider-Maning it around the house if I
whatever
want
you
to.
want.
But like you made it through the
just
whole
balls
thing.
Dangling, free game. You can like if your bathroom's cornered the right way, you can shit with the door open and still see.
No, I put a mirror against the wall so that way it can just look straight. I used to do that. I used to do that back in high school, college
times. It's like Majora Mask style.
You put a mirror in a specific angle and you can
just mirrored crystalled his movie.
So it was kind of like
that's a lot of effort.
It was cool though. It kind of seemed like Wonder Woman was on my side though, or any of them, because the way the reflection was.
Because you're not a Palestinian, so she is.
All right, Bella Hadid or whatever.
No, it's you mean the pro-Palestinian model?
The two.
Mia Khalifa
also
yes. Jesus, she's like super pissed now that everyone's watching her porn. I'm like, what did you think? Like,
it's your fault that you didn't ask for that much money.
I'm not knocking if you're gonna do porn, but I'm knocking like if you are gonna have like feelings about it, like do something.
That's why you ask
do
for
something
royalties.
contractually.
You don't ask for payment up front. You ask for
premeditated,
royalties.
so that you can,
You ask for
like just in
back.
case.
It was only 5 months of my life.
5 months. She had like 300 scenes. Not that I've looked at them, but
And not a lot of them were
She never did it for me.
one-on-ones.
She never did it for me.
A lot of them were not one-on-ones.
she never did it for me. So like,
You would know.
I did. I have watched.
I mean, I've seen, but I'm not. And she just never did it for me. Like I
was also messing
I'm
around
an
with
ass
somebody
guy.
that looked almost identical to her, so I kind of like had to.
sure, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I've had a few of those.
Yep.
No, we don't have to name them. I'm just saying.
We
There's
don't.
been a few of the individuals that I've met in the bar that I'm just like, oh, you remind me of that person. Let
That's
me watch
always
you
fun.
later.
I'm
That's
so
always
glad
fun.
I caused this tangent. I love it.
So quarantine must have been rough for her, I bet.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Not as rough as those 5 months.
But that's good.
I would like to point out concerts are in full swing. I know I brought it up.
I will believe it when our rival son
Have you seen
show
the amount
gets
for long
rescheduled.
tickets
God
now?
damn it!
So I bought tickets to 311. The
Right.
tickets were $66 for seats, good seats,
Yeah,
right?
but
Not
that's
up right
not
up front.
including the fucking.
No, after fees and everything. So it cost me
okay.
for 2 tickets. The 311 was 100 in fees, obviously, because Ticketmaster does.
This
or
is in the fairgrounds.
30%.
at the
Amphitheater?
Perfect Vodka or whatever
They
Sound of
change
Ice
it every
Amphitheater
year.
that it is.
Cruzan.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
whatever it is now.
The Palm
So
Beach Amphitheater.
I bought tickets
Just name
for
a concert, and I'm like, yeah, I know where it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Sound of Ice Amphitheater. Let's go old
Sure.
school.
Okay.
So the I bought the tickets, and after fees, it was for two like $170. Okay, whatever.
Your seats, not
$25 for like service
60
fees.
but $66 a seat, regards to the fees.
But
I looked
you
at the
have seats?
lawn. The lawn was $124.
That was my question.
The lawn
So the
has
lawn
never
is
ever been
more
more than
expensive?
$60 for any.
Well-
because everybody wants to be outside. Dave Matthews' lawn sold out.
people-
The seats did
people
not.
want to
people
be
want
in
to
the
be
open.
actually out in the open because of this quarantine. Because they've been stuck inside. They don't want to be in
James,
seats.
you're the fucking guy that should have thought about that first.
No, that's why I was
it's
confused. Because I
ridiculous,
was
'cause
thinking
they
about
I mean,
more
just
than
because you're
$60.
vaccinated, but like everyone
No,
is.
it's not even that. It's that like I haven't been to a concert since then.
Not
So I'm
many of
not
us
thinking
have.
about that. I'm thinking
Can
about
we just talk
all
about?
of the
Can we
miserable
talk about
concerts I've
like
been to
how
there.
any of us at this point could even withstand that, like the length of a concert and the drinking?
Easily.
I had to pee 3 times during Scott Pilgrim.
Not just
That's why you
peeing,
buy
dude.
seats.
Like
That's why you buy
I would be
seats.
absolutely trash now, like because of the volume and the intake of drinking.
To be
you
fair,
know,
I've been
jumping
absolutely
around.
During the
trashed at
pandemic,
every
jumping
concert.
around and social
Well, like
drinking
we,
with everybody.
we had this like natural ability just through time. We learned how to pace ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and most of us, we're all from South Florida. James, you have Buffalo roots, but you grew up down here. All of
most
us,
of my
all of
life,
us, kind of like partied and did the same kind of thing in South Florida. Like we're built very different from people in other states, and I've met a lot of them.
Yeah,
my
but I
time in the
still
Army.
can't stand in that lawn section for 7
no,
hours.
it's great when you're in a
Well,
group
so
of
like
like 20 people
imagine like a
because
Warped
you're
Tour now.
collective
Like,
all
together.
sweat
imagine
to
a Warped
death.
Tour now. Like just honestly, I don't like. I've seen the Rolling Loud, all these like major festivals.
Can I get an F in chat for
I
Warped
just
Tour?
don't fucking think I can do it. I think like my body, just the heat.
I want to add one thing onto that. Not only that,
It's
I want
100
to see the
degrees
reaction
at
of people when they have
10
to pay
p.m.
for drinks now. The amount of money that it costs to buy at a stadium or anything like that, because most people haven't been to any concerts or any games, and they're used to them buying liquor bottles themselves. So when they got to go and now they got to spend $18 for a double, and people's reactions.
when
are
it's
gonna
your
be
turn
like,
to buy a
you
round
might
and
not
you
drink
spend
that much.
you spend $80.
You might not. You might not even buy
5,
a
6.
drink nowadays. You might be like, screw it. I'm just going to be sober this whole time.
Or just bring a flask. Like I don't know.
I mean, I always bring a flask.
I mean, at this, that's my thing, right? We all have to, and it's going to take some time. You don't realize the length of the pandemic. I mean, we do, right? We realize it, but the adjusting factor is another part of it now that we're actually living through, and we're finding out, like, well, goddamn, I developed a drinking problem, or I developed
I had a drinking problem
I
beforehand.
developed an attachment to like not going out or not being around a lot of people, and people now, the few times that I've been out, everyone's shit-faced really quick.
Yeah.
Everyone's spending more money, including myself, and everyone is almost overcompensating for the lack of being in front of someone.
Yeah,
So,
they're
like-
jonesing to be social.
But they're also like
And there's
overstepping.
Some people try too hard.
And they're
Yeah.
self-medicating.
They're
the social
overdoing it.
anxiety
They're
on it,
overbearing
right?
sometimes.
It's a
you know,
lot.
I love seeing a lot of people, but as you just said, and I'm one that I like to. I'm the other side of the pillow. I like to drink. Jameson and all, but sometimes people just start even going more than me, and it makes me, if I have to question it, then you know you got a problem.
We all have questions then.
Yeah.
If I look at you and go, damn, you're doing a lot.
That's a real thing.
This is me saying it, so.
It is very nice to be and see like people doing things and going out and living life. And I don't think there was a single soul, no matter what side of the political spectrum you stood on, I don't think there was a single soul that was like, oh, we don't want anything to ever open up, or we don't want this. Like, I think a lot of people were like, it's probably safer. I probably will still wear a mask here and there because I feel safer. You can look at me crazy. I really don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Like, you do you. I don't tell you what to do. I won't suggest you do this. I will in my head. But at the end of the day, we're all people, and we just are out to live and enjoy our time and, spend our money the way we want, take care of priorities, and then live whatever time we have. Steven just got off of work, working all day, and he decided to come and do the show, and that's something he probably enjoys and likes to be a part of, so it makes him feel... I would hope so. I mean...
Yeah, so my place...
You're not getting paid to do it, so...
No. I mean, at my place, we serve food.
Yeah.
The majority of my staff is vaccinated.
Okay. By rule or by choice?
By choice. Obviously, no one told anyone that they needed to get vaccinated.
This isn't Amazon.
No, not at all. And we're all still wearing masks still.
Yeah.
By law, our lovely governor has made it to the point where we really can't enforce anything at all. Kind of just have to, go with the wind. So the idea that we're still wearing our masks is me protecting my staff.
Yeah.
But we're also getting to the point where the people that are coming in, it's less than 50%.
Yeah.
That are wearing their masks.
Well, and like how much of it is also the not wanting to make the customers uncomfortable?
All of it.
I mean, like literally you're you're the fucking guy running the place.
Yeah, I'm the one that's going to make that choice.
So it's
and it is all about the comfort of the customer.
Because I feel like if you weren't wearing masks, that like there's gonna be some subset of your customers who won't come because they're now uncomfortable that the wait staff is not wearing masks.
I agree with that.
See, that's where I was gonna say is you're back in it right now. I used to work in that service industry, and I'll say this, my opinion, if you're gonna have to have anybody wear it, I'd rather the staff. Not, it doesn't have to be the cooks in the back, whatever, but like I would say the servers, bartenders, if anybody's gonna have to wear it. Customers,
if the customers knew what the cooks were doing anyways,
you're already supposed to be cleaning it. Yeah, you do the customers, you try to accommodate them, and obviously you let them know the rules and you let them be safer. But the bartender, the server, the busser, those, in my opinion, those are the hostess. Just because, as you just said, it makes you feel more comfortable.
Correct, but we're also getting to the point where the concern for my staff safety is extremely minimal because they're all vaccinated. Right. So within the next few weeks, we're talking about no more masks. We're talking about staff's going to take it off.
Well, I think the hospitality industry, like restaurants, they're going to be the last. So it truly is a honor system right now. Mm-hmm. However, I think the restaurant, I don't know how to like. Basically, there isn't like a anything that says like all restaurants can do what they want. Right now, there is still something that's like all restaurants
ones can in the
still
state.
can't not do what they want. You know what I'm saying? So there isn't, because I was talking to your brother and he was like, "We're going to be the last ones, and if ever, he's like, we're going to be the last ones, and if not, we're going to be the only ones that probably forever till."
Well, he was waiting for it because you never knew about the second, if there was going to be a second.
It's going to be like a 10-year thing, like
you want to reset everything.
Back over in small podunk town, West Virginia, I went to go visit my cousin or buddy, and they still got masks on out there or something like that. I mean, obviously, it would naturally be the other way around. Right. Bad example, but what I'm saying is there's going to be places that
you
are still
St.
following
Augustine,
it.
Stephen.
So just this past week, they had a conference in Miami.
Yeah.
Bitcoin conference.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, they caught it. A bunch of people caught it.
So
and a lot of them were vaccinated.
A lot of people have tested positive and they're referring to the event as a super spreader.
Yeah, but it's fine. They'll find a way to stop spread via blockchain.
Yeah, that's what Bitcoin is, right?
Right? Making up bullshit fucking applications of blockchain because they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't understand the blockchain.
I mean,
It can do
no one
anything
does.
as far as I'm concerned.
I invested. I have no idea about any of that stuff.
Smart man.
I did make some money on AMC though. I made about $400
Good for you.
off of
I
$50.
have more
You're a
people.
member of our /
At least the ones that want to admit it to me have more
bought it
people that
with,
said they've lost a lot of money.
$9.
So I'm just like, well, that's part of taking a risk. Like you got money to say, hey, I can afford to. I mean, excuse me. Let me correct.
Call
you.
it gambling,
That's
not
the
winning.
joke I should have made. They're used to taking stupid risks,
paraphrase.
so of course they got COVID.
You should be intelligent enough to know that if you gamble, that's money you can afford to lose.
All right, Anthony Jeselnik over here.
mean,
whatever, bro. I don't
think people
if
that
that
win
was
the
true,
lottery
then
ever
no
care
one would
about losing their
gamble.
money. They wouldn't care about losing
I mean,
their money if they
I'm
played,
just
because they played
saying,
the lottery.
If you're in the nature of gambling, if you're into it and the idea and you partake, even small numbers, even like $1, like it's gonna land
daily
hits,
highlight.
whatever. If you're into it, you have the dollar, or you don't, whatever. When you start doubling down, you start really putting serious money down. It's a different ball game, Then it becomes an addiction because you love the rush. You win, you're like, holy shit,
right.
I lost. You're like, damn, I shouldn't have fucking did it.
Then you make
And I was
an
like, it was
incredibly complicated system for how you bet on horse races.
Well, we're gonna go back and watch the ponies.
Only if your fucking dad comes.
Oh, he obviously,
That was the highlight for me.
obviously he'll be there.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, so we're pushing towards getting back to 100%. I don't think we'll ever get back to the comfort factor where COVID is not in the back of people's minds. But I think for the ones that are vaccinated and the ones that have somehow avoided it,
We can get there.
we can get there.
We can
It's going
get
to take
there.
time. It's going to take a lot of people doing a lot of responsible things like washing their hands and just overall just thinking about not biting your nails and if you're touching things like ATM machines.
I don't think we will get there.
Well,
I'm just saying that we
You might as
can
well
get
put a
there.
sanitation
We can get
spot
there.
next to
It
an
would be
ATM, then
by
if we're gonna do
like
something like that.
Sure.
for most of our
not?
lives. For most of our lives, we would see like the occasional, like there would be an outbreak of something, and then all of the Asian people in Asian countries would be wearing face masks because they experienced this before in a highly localized version with SARS.
China and Japan.
And
So they
that was
India
normalized.
is part of Asia too.
That was
so-
normalized in those countries.
Well, there's another
China,
SARS
Japan,
B,
Korea,
something that's floating around now.
all those places. It's not even when there's like an endemic going on. It's when
During
you
the flu
feel
season.
sick in the flu season, you wear a mask.
Right.
So the point I was making, I don't think that we will get there because we've got this weird thing in our culture with masks.
America, freedom.
But if we were to get to the point where flu season, people who are feeling under
Rock
the
flags
weather
and beer.
He's
wear
stepping
masks,
over my rights.
then
Tucker
we could
Durr.
get back to a like sense of not having to worry about this shit.
Sure.
What I think will happen is that won't become normalized, and then we'll just like repeat this every like 10 years.
Well, it's going to be more frequent.
Yeah.
As long as the population keeps growing, it's going to get more and more frequent.
Yep.
It's just natural. We're encroaching on the natural world.
And nature is dealing with the virus.
Yep. It's fighting back.
Yeah.
We're the virus. They're fighting back.
Yeah.
One bacteria inside of a petri dish with a bunch of good stuff. What's going to happen eventually? It's going to take it over,
Absolutely.
or it's going to make something new.
Yeah.
So aliens?
Was that osmosis?
The incredible horror movie?
No.
You just mean aliens in general?
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to get you with my little mouth.
God
Yeah, but
damn
take
it.
my strong hand.
I'm going to take my strong.
Oh, no. Strong hand. God damn it.
We all did that way too comfortably.
We have. Yeah.
I swear we're not gross, creepy old 30-year-olds.
Yeah. Speaking of doing things way too comfortably, how do you feel about the Eagles moving on from the savior, Carson Wentz?
What savior? There's only one savior in my mind. His name is Big Dick Nick. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they moved on
that was
from
going to be a
there.
pastor that came back. No,
They moved on from him too.
no, they did. They didn't. They didn't.
What do you mean?
Is he on the roster?
so they thought about actually doing it, but then which weirdly enough, they were looking for a trade, and it was going to be something with like either. I don't want to say anything wrong this, but like Ertz or something. It was going to be. It was going to be actually like Carson Wentz and something to Chicago, and we were going to get a Nick Foles back.
Well, they just signed Fields today, so
we ended up getting Joe Flacco.
He's starting
as our guy. The guy who's the most highest paid quarterback of all time, who never made a Pro Bowl.
You are one injury to Jalen Hurts away from having.
I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's only going to be there for 2 more
Chicago
years.
broke the black quarterback thing, and they not only signed him 4 years, but like guaranteed his money and everything. So they're like, we doing this.
You can thank Sam Bradford for changing the rules on the number 1 overall pick, the top 5 overall picks and stuff.
Sam Bradford or Michael Vick?
No, Sam Bradford was the last number 1 overall pick. He got $80 million, and the next year was Cam Newton, where he only got a 4-year, $30 million deal because
they made the
Mr.
rookie
Broken
Glass.
I forgot about that.
He messed. He got because he got injured.
I thought it
every
had something
year.
to do because he was Cherokee. Sorry,
What?
Sam Bradford's part Cherokee.
Like
can he prove
that
Yeah,
chick
no,
up
Or is
north?
he like
I think
fucking
he got like
Elizabeth Warren?
college paid for
that chick up north with the glasses that
Outside
said
of
she was like
scholarships.
1/16 Cherokee or something like that.
No, like he's.
was the
I
joke
mean,
I was
I
making,
think you
yes.
only have to be 1/16, but he might be more than that. You could see it. He's got a little red blood in him, but
That was racist.
it's not. I'm Cherokee.
No,
So,
he just blushes a lot because he's pale.
you know, bloodline carries a tan versus.
I mean,
An Irish
or
guy?
the Irish
That's the only.
who just like
That's
turn
the only-
bright fucking red.
Well, yeah. I mean, he just
they
has
burn.
a look. He keeps the tan and holds it. You know, but
Yeah.
That's good. That's
it was
all the
it
alcohol.
was a huge thing because my ex-wife's father is a huge Sooner fan. So
Yeah,
follow
well, yeah.
Bob Stoops and all of them and
Fucking
paid attention
Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, you know, at that
Where
time,
the
a lot
wind blows
of
weirder than
people.
rain.
That Sam Bradford team had.
Didn't Stoops come back? Didn't he just
I think
come
it was
back?
the brother. Oh no, he might have just came back. I don't know.
No, not the old one.
Bob Stoops.
I think
There's
he
two
just,
of them. One of them was at.
I think
West Virginia.
He
No,
just
that was
came
Bobby. That was
back.
Bobby's kid.
I don't remember. I don't follow the Stoops brothers, but
Wasn't one at Georgia? No, who's the guy?
when he was there,
Georgia?
when he was there in the mid 2000s,
Somebody in the SEC.
Bradford was on a team with Adrian Peterson.
When he broke his collarbone
Kenny
doing
Stills.
doing a jump into the end zone when they were up like
There's
Booby
another
Miles.
running
It was
back,
Booby
DeMarco
Miles.
Murray.
It was literally Booby
DeMarco
Miles.
Murray was
So,
behind
he
him.
was the
DeMarco
backup.
Murray was recruited from a Las Vegas UNLV's basketball gym, I believe, doing 360 dunks.
Yeah.
And someone else was on that team too. That went Jermaine Gresham, the tight end.
The first
team
guy
was
to
stacked.
do a front flip for into the end zone.
Yeah.
During the game.
I mean, there's 3 quarterbacks from Oklahoma that are starting in the NFL.
Well, remember there was
From
two out of the 3 had
post-Bradford.
Heisman's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They almost
What's his name?
were the first
guy
team.
that
Baker
broke
Mayfield, Kyler Murray.
No, there was the other guy that was the bench on Pittsburgh for a while.
Oh,
He was
talking
right after
Rudolph?
Bradford. He was literally like redshirt when Bradford was there.
Talking about
Roethlisberger's no.
talking about
before
Mason
him.
Rudolph.
Before him.
Talking about
He's been in the league like a while. And the last I checked, he was still a backup.
backup where
I think Pittsburgh.
probably floating around.
because the only thing that
backup
they
at
have
Pittsburgh
is
is Duck.
Duck, and then you have Mason Rudolph.
And then it's not him.
You got to Google.
I gotta Google.
Well, that Oklahoma backfield with Adrian Peterson and Murray is like, you would think it's the best backfield ever, but it's
In
the
a college,
second best.
first off, in a
Landry
college
Jones.
wise.
Landry Jones.
Oh, of course, in college.
Well, one of the best has
It's
got to
the
be. You
best.
got to put USC
Landry
up there.
Jones.
No, the best ever is Oklahoma State.
that's right,
Oklahoma
Landry
State
Jones
has
was-
Barry Sanders as the starter and Thurman Thomas as the backup.
That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
Thurman Thomas never saw the field.
No, well, we
Yeah,
had.
neither did Tom Brady in
I
Michigan,
say
but you know,
we
not till
as
Oh
in-
se-
no!
not
Once
till senior
once
year.
Barry left, like
once
Thurman
it- no, I
Thomas
got you.
smashed all the records.
University of Miami had Clinton
I would-
Portis, Frank Gore,
And Gore.
and
Oh, I mean
Willis McGahee.
Willis McGahee.
Listen,
yeah.
Sean
McGahee,
Taylor.
yeah,
Sean
yeah.
Taylor was the number 1, and he goes, "You know what? I'm going to play defense." And everybody on that running back squad that is amazing and all going to be Hall of Famers.
I mean,
went thank God.
You don't remember the game?
'Cause he was
you
the
don't remember
man.
the game where Devin Hester like not begged, but he was like, "Yo," because Sean Taylor was returning kicks, and he was like, "Let me come in," and Devin
Right?
Hester changed.
Devin Hester is the best kick returner
changed
ever.
kick returning.
Yeah.
Like Madden was like, "Yo, 99," you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah, him and
99.
Josh Cribbs.
Yeah, but like Josh Cribbs was great.
Josh
There's no
Cribbs
Cribbs.
was more
But he's
wide
no
receiver
Devin
though because he was
Hester.
bigger. He was
The
taller. He was like
only
Larry
person that's
Fitzgerald
close to
style.
Devin Hester would be like D'Angelo
Deion.
Hall
No, I go
Deion
D'Angelo.
Sanders.
No, I go D'Angelo
was it
Hall.
D'Angelo Hall?
No, D'Angelo from Atlanta
from KC.
and Atlanta.
Yeah, he was great. He was
You know
a
what's
great
funny
kick
is he
returner.
kind
That's
of
it, though.
left the same time as like I think
Terrible.
Tony. I think he might have left like a year or two
Devin,
to go to
Devin
Atlanta.
Hester's 0 to 60
Oh, he's the best kick
Unmatched.
returner ever.
unmatched.
Period.
Like and then the cuts, this lateral speed is
If
just,
they ever start allowing special teams players into the Hall of Fame again, it'll start with Steve Tasker.
well, he's definitely
and
gonna
the
be
second
in the
one will
Miami-
be Devin
Miami
Hester.
Hurricanes Hall of Fame, so it doesn't matter. But everyone knows who he is. I mean, if you follow
Well, it's
the
good. We're obviously all jacked up for football season.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot. I
I mean,
mean,
you being the champion.
we have. I have
of the league.
a running thing with James. If Buffalo beats Miami, I will wear.
You mean when?
Twice or once.
Well, the first
game,
bet
the away
first bet was the Super Bowl, right? If they won the
Well,
Super Bowl.
the first one, it wasn't even a bet. It was a statement of when we win the Super Bowl that Big Kunta and the Doc Sauce were going to throw me through a folding table.
But
obviously.
I also agreed to wear a Buffalo Bills jersey.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
like Rey Mysterio to Brock
I'll wear a
Lesnar
Stephon
going on over
Diggs
here. He's
jersey.
going to throw you through a table.
I mean, obviously he's
Matt
going
Hardy?
to break the table beforehand.
Matt Hardy over here just going to...
I weigh 115.
Paul
I
and
can't break
Mayweather.
it by myself.
No, and we're not going to get into that terrible, dumb fight.
Whatever. Mayweather is literally the,
No, he's the smartest. No,
world's
he's the smartest man. He
greatest
doesn't give a
legal bank robber.
Yes,
I
as-
thought you
as
were going to say the world's greatest hugger.
he
I
is.
really
I
liked
would
how
love
he
to
was
see
just
him.
like
I mean,
holding
I would
up
love to slow-mo dance with
him.
him.
How many times did
He's,
he?
like,
how many
knocked
times
him
did he
out.
knock out Logan and
Twice.
held him up?
and held him up to keep it going.
Solid.
I'd say twice.
Bearings together.
To keep it going.
No, he did the one holding up, and then the other one he dropped his body because he's lower, and he kept him up on his back. No, and I'm not going to diss
He
the man.
just
He's
tried to
smart
drag
man.
it.
He made his money. The other one, I want to see
He's
get
like,
that.
yeah, he's like 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-1. I'm like, yo,
No.
I don't care. Logan Paul, he's actually like
Fuck 'em
decent.
both.
Minus his little, that he
Both
got in
the
trouble
Pauls
for
are
a couple years
douchebags.
back with doing the video in Japan.
They're
That's what I'm
assholes,
saying.
but they're
It's the
smart.
other one. Jake Paul. I hope Tyron Woodley whoops his ass.
I hope so, too.
He talks so much shit.
He does it to sell tickets.
And he's
It's a
not that.
tactic.
No.
Mayweather did
He's
the
a,
same
no.
thing.
I agree with Mike Tyson's statement. They are smart individuals. I will not knock you for making your money.
Mayweather said Logan Paul, who's not the real fighter, was a lot better than he thought.
Yeah, but it also, dude.
He was like, this cat, I mean,
Yeah.
granted,
He also
was
said
a
that
heavyweight.
McGregor was
He
a great
heavyweight,
boxer.
but-
I'm just saying, like,
Size difference.
But
He
he trains.
played-
You
no, he
gotta
played with
respect training, right?
No, of course.
So you get in the ring, he threw punches.
I mean,
Granted,
if
fucking
there's in
Mayweather's
talks of
40.
them joining Bellator.
if
Of the
Floyd,
Paul brothers.
Floyd
I would hope so,
Mayweather
because
didn't
Dana
want
White
to,
doesn't want him in
like,
UFC.
They should do bare
And
knuckle fighting.
the Cozy or whatever the
should do
guy
bare
who
knuckle
does Bellator was like, there's a spot here. We will only make him fight.
if Mayweather wasn't great at what he did, then Paul would have fucking died.
He's the greatest counterpuncher
Like-
of all time.
Well,
Mayweather.
it was an exhibition. It wasn't trying to kill him. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
at
if
the,
that
end,
was
of,
a
at the end of
real,
the day,
if that
the
was a real
opportunity,
fight,
the opportunity literally made Mayweather 111
Oh, of course it did.
million or whatever it was.
because he's the greatest at making incredible amounts of money off
Making
of boxing.
deals.
Like,
making deals.
I kind of just wish
That
that,
whole
Pacquiao
Pro
fight
Player
was 3
Stadium
years
incident
earlier.
where he took his hat,
Yeah.
that was all set up. That was all like
Yeah, easy money.
He apparently mentioned it a bunch of times that to his brother he was going to do it. He didn't know the other guys because he actually got punched in the face.
well, that's okay. That's what's the punch for
take
$10
that.
I
million?
love that. I love that Paul's
Let's be 3 more
security
times.
team backed away. Paul's security team when those big motherfuckers were coming out. Mayweather don't play. Those are ex linemen. You know what I'm saying?
he'll kill
Like
them.
that scene
He's
for-
not getting paid to not kill them.
They had the one best friend bodyguard. He was walking backwards.
Yeah.
He's like,
Said the only real winners of that whole thing outside of Mayweather and Logan Paul was the people who illegally
the advertisers.
the people who illegally streamed it and didn't pay for the
They're,
flight.
Well,
they're,
yeah.
they're the ones that got upset.
The real winners, but
That's why I didn't pay.
I
my
didn't
money.
pay for that shit. Absolutely not.
You can watch it on YouTube for free.
But anyway, we are we're wrapping up first episode of season 2. It is so good to be back.
Good to be back.
We are really excited about the things that are coming. Stay
Not just
tuned.
breathing
Check
hard.
the page. The page will be updated here shortly. We're just revamping a few things. Got a lot of things scheduled up as far as special guests. Really trying to deliver you guys some quality content. So just bear with us and keep rocking with us. And until if you want Brian, please let us know in the comment sections.
I know you guys miss me. I miss you all.
Mr. Awesome. Those of you
Miss
that
your
know
faces
who he
and your
is.
smiles.
Absolutely.
That way you smell like winners.
Well, we love you guys, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Yeet.
Wiki wiki woo.